Hello, and welcome to episode 9 of the Yoderverse podcast. I'm very glad to have you here. So, today I wanted to dig in to the future of work. I have a bit of research here that I've done, just a little bit to give a rough idea of how the future of work looks like, specifically in regards to artificial intelligence and technology. And then next week, or later this week, depending on when I decide to do it, in episode 10, I will talk about how it influences the future of art and animation specifically, because that is the field that I personally am going into. So before we begin, be sure to subscribe, share, comment what you think, and feel free to leave suggestions for future episodes or things that you feel like I should, check out. Also, feel free to check out the wildlife channel, Yoderverse Untamed, where I will be doing videos weekly. The first video is already up on the king cheetah, and a video is coming out later this week on the elephant shrew. So be sure to check that out if you're interested in that. And now we shall begin. So research states that by 2030, 85% of jobs that will exist haven't been invented yet. This statement implies that with the advancement of technology and artificial intelligence, there are a very, very large amount of jobs in the future, 5 to 10, 20 years from now, that haven't even been made yet. And a little bit of a statistic on the negative side is that AI could potentially replace around 300 million jobs globally. But if we measure that out with the fact that 85% of jobs that will exist don't exist yet, you can take that factor and say that it means there shall be a large amount of opportunity in those spaces. So if you're in high school or college right now, the career you end up in might not even exist yet, depending on your interest. So how do we prepare for this AI and tech thing that is coming in quite fast? So I feel like we have to consider the benefits of artificial intelligence. I think we tend to stick too much to the negative aspects of it. We forget that technology is necessary in this world. It's something that we use daily. Even think about things like the internet. The internet was a scary thing for those who are encountering it for the first time. A lot of businesses were like, okay, we're going to shut down because the internet has taken over this and this and that. And even things like smartphones, now those that didn't sell touchscreen phones, like, we're going to go out of business. And they found out that they can just adapt to the changing times, which I feel is sort of a theme with this new age of artificial intelligence, is just to be able to train ourselves to adapt to what's coming. So I feel like I'll just go a little bit into how artificial intelligence is already changing industries, both small and large. Examples like ChatGPT, which was what I could consider the biggest shocker when it came to the world of technology and artificial intelligence, when it was new, when there was nothing similar to it at the time. Now there's so many others like DeepSeek and Gemini and Microsoft Copilot, and the other one that Elon Musk revealed the other day that I forget. But there's many, many. I think it's called Gork 3 or something like that. That's another AI model that has come out, and there's so many, many others. But I feel like as much as we can have a proclivity to have negative emotion towards these these things, these advancements in technology, I feel like it's good to consider the benefits of them, regardless of what you say about artificial intelligence. We've all used something like ChatGPT or similar, with or without knowing, to handle a specific task. Now, personally, I'd prefer what I could call human things to remain human, things like writing. But if you've already written something and you don't want to go through the hard work of breaking it down to make something else out of the thing you've written, you can just feed it into artificial intelligence and tell it, okay, make a structure for me based on this thing that I have written, instead of just telling it to do everything. You need to take, you need to embrace your human authenticity and do something first before telling AI to do something for you. Otherwise, you just become lazy. Um, there are some jobs in the future. I mean, it's not all, rainbows and sunshine. There are some jobs in the future that will be directly affected by artificial intelligence. Anything data driven anything data driven will be affected by artificial intelligence, because these AI algorithms are tapped into global networks. Like, for example, you think of Google's Gemini. Everything on Google can be fed through Gemini. So, okay, I don't want to stretch it and say Gemini knows everything, but anything that you can search on Google, Gemini knows. So anything research based, I think, anything data or research based, are industries that will be slowed down in regards to humans being hired to do these things. And then there's also things like manufacturing. When Henry Ford made the manufacturing line in the early 1900s, people were making cars by hand and everything like that. Fast forward to 2025, and you have companies that are making their cars with like a 85 to 95% rate of machine work. So you have the machines doing the assembling, you have the machines doing the molding of these, of all these items, whether it's in supply making, whether it's in car making, anything that's factory based. A lot of these industries are using artificial intelligence and new technologies to be able to cut down on human labor. So things like even, what can I say, retail and manufacturing, data entry, and research are the jobs that I believe are at risk from artificial intelligence and technology. So, what are some benefits, I'd say, or some leverages that we can appreciate from some of these things? I think remote work is one of the largest things that has come. And I'm not just talking about artificial intelligence while going through this, I'm also talking about advancement in technology as a whole. So I feel like remote work and what you could call the gig economy are some things that are growing exponentially because of now that advancement in technology. So 2020, the world basically shuts down globally, and because of investments in new technologies, whether it be things like Zoom or improvement in the cameras and microphones in our laptops, it was easier for people to work from home. And as we came out of it in mid 2022, heading to 2023, you find that close to 60% of these industries kept the work from home thing. Now, remote work is a thing that's even being implemented into colleges and universities, where they'd say, okay, you can come and do a physical year in our university, and then when you're doing your degree, you can do the same, but now from the comfort of your own home. And I feel like that's one thing that we can credit technology for, is just the versatility of being able to do work. Another thing is what I could call hustling. As time moves forward, the opportunities that have come up to be able to pick up small jobs or side jobs, whether it's digital marketing, whether it's drop shipping, crypto, and all these other small things that you can pick up as you're doing your main thing, have come as a result of advancing technology and being able to open up these spaces for people to be able to explore such side hustles. And then another thing that's come with the advancement of technology, I believe, is what we can call green jobs. Green jobs are basically jobs that are targeted at making the planet better. So things that, like green energy and, the tree planting and, using more of electric vehicles than diesel or petrol powered vehicles. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of electric vehicles, but anyway, green jobs and sustainability are things that have come as a result of the advancement in artificial intelligence. So the first thing was the statistic on how jobs are changing. Second is what is changing. And third, I want to go into what are the skills of the future. What are the things that we can learn that will be able to make it easier in the future and leave us with less of a frustration in regards to the way we view the world as technology and artificial intelligence advance. I think the first and the largest one would be anything regarding computer programming, so coding, whether it's learning languages like Python or JavaScript. Another skill would be data analysis. From the data that the AI will pick from you, it's up to you to be able to break down that data to be able to even predict things, analyze them and predict. Another thing is AI literacy. This thing is here to stay. Artificial intelligence is not something that we can get rid of now. It is becoming integrated into everything we do, whether it's in our browsers, whether it's in our websites, whether it's in our phones, our cameras, our laptops, our microphones. There's so many things that AI is being integrated into. Learning about it does not mean that you are conforming to use it for everything. So learn about it, have AI literacy, learn the way these things work, the way algorithms are programmed nowadays, since now they're being programmed by computers. Learn how that works. Don't let your frustration with artificial intelligence dictate why you should or should not learn about it. And then another thing is digital marketing. With AI tools, we can be able to research and find predictive patterns in which we can use in our businesses or even our personal lives as content creators to be able to now further both our knowledge and our productivity when it comes to marketing ourselves. And then those are hard skills now, and then there's also soft skills. So I feel like a few soft skills we can learn, more things that are close to what I could call humanity, if that makes sense. Creative skills, I feel, are still very, very, very much important, and I will touch more on that when I'm talking about art and animation in the next episode. Critical thinking is another one. I feel like as much as technology is advancing, we should be able to train ourselves to think critically about certain things so that we can be able to adapt faster to changing times. Emotional intelligence, I feel like this is more of a personal thing, like a thing that you do for yourself, but just being able to, I want to say, remain sane in a way in regards to how, again, changing times. And then adaptability. Now, this is, again, a personal thing. How well you adapt to a situation is up to you. Again, you can decide to be frustrated by the advancement of artificial intelligence or decide that, okay, I'm not going to use AI for everything, but at the very least, I'm going to learn about it. If you want to learn some of the hard skills, I've found places like Code Academy, Khan Academy, YouTube, and W3 schools are amazing places to be able to learn computer programming and AI literacy. Personally, I am learning a bit of cybersecurity and other coding languages, as well as AI literacy, just learning how these systems work. And it's something that I feel like we should be willing to do. And in terms of the soft skills, I feel like the reason why these soft skills, the creativity, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, and adaptability, are hard for AI to do is because those are strictly what I could call human things. Artificial intelligence can be creative, but it has to leverage creativity that already exists for it to be able to have any input in regards to how creativity works. Another skill of the future, I believe, is entrepreneurship. So think my dad told me when it comes to even this podcast, when it comes to my art, is think of everything as a business. It's not like you're going to, force yourself to market yourself and everything like that, but at least think about it as if it's something that you value, something that has value to be able to make money of some sort, even if it doesn't ever. But treat it as if it's a business. So show up for it, be consistent, and push yourself to make it as good as you can. So I feel like in regards to entrepreneurship, it's different for our generation because you could be a successful YouTuber and that's your form of entrepreneurship. You could be a gamer, for example, and that's your form of entrepreneurship. A very big one right now is streaming. So just doing live streams and talking about whatever on multiple platforms, whether it's Twitch, YouTube, Rumble, etc., that's still a form of income because you're paid for however many viewers and followers you get and all that. That's still part of entrepreneurship. So the fourth thing is future proofing your career. I feel like you can have a passion and a goal and a career that you're already very invested in, but also think about the future of the career you're going into. Will your skills be necessary? And while you're asking yourself that, also ask yourself, are there any skills that I can learn right now to be able to better myself in regards to that future in regards to the future of my career? There are many platforms like Coursera and Udemy and Skillshare, and even some videos on YouTube and TikTok. I personally don't use TikTok, but there's many sources of information where you can be able to learn these. I don't know if to call them high value skills, but skills that can at least prolong how long you'll be able to be in the market. So stay curious, experiment, go into different fields. You don't have to be, you can focus on one thing, but don't let that focus stop you from learning new things. Because as human beings, our curiosity helps us learn. So last thing, the future is full of opportunity. I believe, regardless of the advancements, I feel like we can be able to, again, as mentioned before, adaptation is extremely, extremely important. When it comes to solving problems, when it comes to managing our lives, we have to be able to leverage these technologies. And we do not want to become slave to technology, but you want technology to serve us. So one way is to stop complaining and start learning. Again, you don't have to use AI for everything, but at least learn how it works. At least learn what these systems are so that when something comes up, you're not as shocked as everyone else when a new thing comes out because, like, okay, that's something that I learned the other day and I feel like, that's what they're doing with that. So, again, as mentioned in the beginning, 85% of jobs don't even exist yet. 85% of the jobs that we'll be having in the next 2 decades don't even exist yet. So leave room for, exploration and thinking of, okay, if I'm a young person, or even if you're an older person and, you feel flexible and ready to adapt, there are many, many careers that don't even exist yet that are yet to be made. And also think of yourself right now at the moment, what can I do to leverage the technology around me to be able to make the world better and make my life easier to manage. And I feel like that will be it for today. I just wanted to give my thoughts on how artificial intelligence and technology advancing isn't always necessarily a negative thing. And even for some of us who don't like using AI excessively or even at all, it's still a good thing to be able to know about, to be able to learn about. And I encourage you to go out there and learn new things. It could be a new skill. It could be acquiring knowledge about something. And don't be afraid to change. All these things come and go, and there's some things that come and stay, like electricity and the internet. And now with advancing in the internet, we have artificial intelligence. And after artificial intelligence, maybe the next 20 to 30 years, based on how fast the world is going, could even be the next 5 years, there'll be something bigger than artificial intelligence in, workspaces and in the world as a whole. So this is a bit of a longer one. It's around 20 minutes, but I just want to thank you so much for watching this. I hope you found value out of it. I'd really love to know what your thoughts are on this. What are your thoughts on AI? Do you have any negative feelings about it? Do you have any positive feelings about it? How does it affect your field and all that? As mentioned previously, in the next video, we shall be talking about how this is affecting the art and animation industry, because that is an industry that I am personally heading to. This is an industry that I am, working hard every day to be able to succeed in the future once I've gained the skills enough to be there. And I feel like it's something that needs to be talked about. A lot of people have talked about it, but I feel like I want to give what I could call an unbiased opinion. As much as I am an artist, I feel like an unbiased opinion is necessary when talking about the impact that technology and artificial intelligence is having in our lives. I want to thank you again. Of course, all the links to the various channels and everything will be in the description below, whether you're listening on Spotify or watching on YouTube. Lastly, Yoderverse Untamed, the wildlife channel, is up and running, and hopefully there'll be new episodes weekly. The first episode is already there, and I'll really, really appreciate you watching, subscribing, liking both this channel and that one. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you in the next one. Take care. Goodbye.